Hi everyone, it's Kim from Expressions of the Universe with your weekly wisdom for January 30th through August 5th. So what I thought I would start with, mix things up a little bit. I'm going to do the cards right away because there's a lot that I want to talk about astrologically that's coming up for us in the month of August. So we are deep into Leo season, and today the sun is at 7 degrees Leo, and the moon is at 7 degrees Scorpio. And I'll talk about that in just a minute. So I have my little bag here. Gonna mix it up. Let's see what the theme of the week is. I hope you're all having a great week. I was previously under the weather the past couple of days, but I'm starting to feel more like myself again. And it is so beautiful here. All right, this is the card that's coming out. Synthesis. That's what the theme is for the week. And what this is saying to me is the coming together of elements and people, it could be, or energies to create something greater. I'll write more about this in my blog. I wanted to really get this video out for all of you that subscribe to my YouTube channel at Expressions of the Universe. And then I'm going to work on the blog later after I get some things done here. So your cards for the week were pretty interesting, and this is energy for all of us, and it'll give us all some food for thought, something to really think about. I don't know about many of you, or if any of you, but I feel like I've kind of gone through a transformation of some sort over the last week or two, and I feel really different today. I feel like I'm waiting for something to happen. I feel very much in the need to clean and purge not only my closets in me, and also like my contacts. Things are refreshing, and I'm starting to see new perspectives on a lot of different levels. So I'm wondering if any of you are kind of feeling the same exact way. When I get sick, what I've noticed, like I've been sick for the last 4 or 5 days, fever, sleeping. I slept 28 hours in 2 days and then slept even more over the last day, but I do feel better. But I see things differently when I'm not feeling well. Things that are, I kind of notice the more important things. And I guess maybe because the outside world, I block that and I'm more focused on myself. And I don't know. I woke up this morning feeling completely different in a good way, in a really good way. So the first card that I have for you for the Sunday, Monday energy, it's higher power, and it's in the reversed or the protection position. And what this is saying to me is that a lot of us are not tapped in to a higher power or that spiritual side, and we're kind of allowing the chatter in our minds to overtake us. I feel like the times right now can be a little bit overwhelming, and this card is reminding us to try and tap in to that higher power, that higher guidance. And when we go within, we do connect to source or creator, we're actually getting correct messages, which is a great segue into the next card, which will come in late Monday into Tuesday, Wednesday-ish. It's never-ending story. And what this says to me is that when we are not connected to source and our higher selves, we allow that mind chatter and the daily dramas to overplay what is real. And I kind of think that's what I was going at when I was talking about feeling transformed after being not so well the past couple of days. Um, you know, it's so hard to turn off chatter in the mind. And I can meditate and I can do breath work. But when I have a drama going on behind the scenes, it kind of overtakes everything in me. And I can't shut it off. Even I, who practice this all the time, I have a hard time shutting it off. This is also saying that we make up stories in our minds so that we can remain the victim. And we don't want to be the victim. You just want to move on from that. So we need to change our thoughts, because also too, these two cards are saying to me what is in your mind, your thoughts, the words, your actions that you project out into the world. That's what comes back to us. It may not happen right away, but it does. And that's what shows up. And then people complain that crap keeps showing up on their doorstep, but that's what they're expecting. I did post something to Facebook about the energy of our thoughts, and when we're judging other people, when we're judging other situations, we are only law of attracting more of that to come into our lives. So it's especially important right now, especially going into August, because we have so many crazy energies occurring. It's so important to really, really try and practice good thoughts, good words, good actions. If you need to journal about it to help you, focus on the gratitude. Start a gratitude journal if you can. I haven't really been into the journaling thing, so I try and just be mindful, but maybe I need to do that as well. So coming in for the Wednesday energy, it's mending. So what this is saying to me is it's time to heal. It's time to heal or let go of relationships that are broken or no longer serve us. So you need to choose if you are going to let them go. And if you let them go, they have to be gone. Or are you going to take the time and energy to heal them? This also indicates a time for healing of ourselves and not just of relationships. A healing for the relationship with the self is probably the most important relationship that we could have, because if you're not good with the self and what's in here, you're not going to be good to anyone else in the outer world. You're not going to be good to your family and your friends and your coworkers and people that you meet on the street. So if you are having problems in outer relationship areas, you really need to take a step back and focus on mending the self. The sun is in Leo, and it's all about fun and play, but it's all about loving of ourselves and really getting to the core of our hearts and who and what is important. And I always tell you that you, me, the I, has to be the most important, because you cannot give back to anyone else unless you're taking care of yourself first. And that's what I did over the last couple of days. And then the final card that'll come in on Thursday, don't forget I will pick a surprise card on Friday, is Happy Happy, but it's in the reversed. And what this is telling me is that many of us have been way too serious. Makes me think of the Joker in Batman. Why so serious? Now is the time to get out and laugh and play and be lighthearted and not take things so seriously, because these things that are consuming our mind and our time and our thoughts, creating drama, having us play the victim, they're really not that important. They really aren't. sometimes, you know, when I see cards like this coming up in a full week's reading, sometimes we may need to consult with someone else, a professional, and get straight with our own hearts so that we can be lighthearted and happy and turn that frown upside down. So make sure that you do something each day this week to laugh and play and be jovial. All right, so I wanted to get into the astrology for the coming month, and I keep thinking, you know, maybe I should do a separate video of that, and I probably will elaborate a little bit more, and I will do a separate video. I did not do a July prediction, although I did bring the cards, and I have the August prediction cards. Remember, I pulled these on January 1st, and I have done a video for January through June of my predictions. July was the Hermit and Calcite. So these kind of contradict each other because the Hermit has us going solo, wanting to be by ourselves and do some inner work. And then Calcite is saying, be more spontaneous, get out there and have a good time. That was the July energy. And it could also be, you know, that conflict of the mind that I was thinking of. I think a lot of the world is in that same place of, you know, I want to go out and be spontaneous and have fun and be creative and have new ventures, yet I don't feel like being around any people because the world really sucks right now. That's how I feel anyway, a lot of the time, especially with all the chaos going on in the world. And then for August, I will do separate videos for these. This is really interesting because I have the Ace of Pentacles happening in August with fluorite, and this is really about healing of the mind and body and spirit. And so the Ace of Pentacles, it's new beginnings, could be more money coming into our lives, but I really feel like this is world power. Something big is happening with the world power, and the fluorite, this is the healing portion. So are we going to have a healing of world power coming up? I think the energies, astrological energies, are going to be shifting us towards that healing of world power. So you're going to have to stay tuned for my August prediction video when I do that. The one thing I want to mention also too, of course I take my little notes, the song Go Your Own Way has been in my head all morning, and I don't know why, but if that means anything to any of you, I would be curious to know. And before I wrap up the astrology that's coming up, so this is my beautiful celestial influence calendar for 2017, and you'll notice that it does have like the daily astrological aspects, and I use this to see what's going on every single day, as well as a Google app. But the few things that I wanted to point out that were really important that are coming up are, so we're at Sunday, July 30th right now. So next week, a week from tomorrow, we have full moon and we have the lunar eclipse. So minor influence, but kind of pretty big. And I need my glasses because I can't see the small print. It's a full moon, it's a lunar eclipse. So this is a pretty big one. Things that you want to get rid of, you're going to really have to spend this week thinking about all the things you want to get rid of. Maybe that's why I feel like cleaning and getting things done. And it's going to be in Aquarius, which is cool, detachment, innovation, eccentric. You're going to be doing things differently after this full moon. Then next Tuesday, we have the 888 Lionsgate. And what that is it's August 8th of 2017. 17 equals the 8. So that's where I get that third 8 from. And this is supposed to be a portal that's going to ascend a lot of us, transform a lot of us to the next higher level of being. So we should be having a huge shift in our perception, especially coming off of this full moon lunar eclipse. Then on the following Saturday, Mercury goes retrograde. We are in the shadow of it, so you can expect electronics, communications, travel. There'll be delays, total glitches in systems. I wouldn't be surprised if something happens to this video. And then the Great American Solar Eclipse on August 21st. It's during a new moon, and this is going to hit directly going across the United States for the first time since February 26th of 1979. Following day, the sun will enter Virgo. So that will be all about healing and perfection and getting things organized and putting in place. I think it's going to have a huge influence on this Great American Solar Eclipse. And then also something else to note is on August 25th, Saturn is going to be going direct. So that's really important. I'll talk more about that later. But this is what I want to focus on. This Great American Solar Eclipse, it's going to be 29 degrees Leo. And what does that mean? It's hitting Donald Trump's Leo, and it's going to be conjunct. And what I am predicting, and I am making a prediction here, I've been saying it to a lot of my friends, to some of my clients, is I really feel that he is going to either explode or implode. That's the words that I keep hearing. And something huge is going to happen. And it may not even happen on that day. But what's interesting is that the last Great American Solar Eclipse, February 26th of 79, there was a huge shift of power that started like the following month after that solar eclipse. And then our government really started to change. I think something big is going to happen. What I also noticed in Donald Trump's chart, excuse the plane overhead, is that his Pluto is in the 12th house, and that's all about karma, as is the Leo. And I've been so uber focused on Pluto and its house placements lately, and this is karma coming back to him. But what I also saw with like Chester Bennington's chart and Chris Cornell, it also could mean death. I really didn't predict that when I thought of the explosion and implosion. However, after looking at the chart this morning, I wouldn't doubt if maybe he has a heart attack. Something, or he's just going to go complete batshit bonkers and be sitting on the toilet 6 a.m. tweeting away. Something's going to really big happen. It's coming. You just wait and see. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I feel like something huge is coming. Now, what would happen if that were to happen is we're not left with a whole lot of great choices, because that means Mike Pence would then take over and we would shift to a total organized religion, conservatism, which I cannot support in any way. But I will say this, that just looking over history and looking at the charts of our presidents, we've had a lot of presidents with their sun in Gemini, and Donald Trump, he's a Gemini, like me. He's at 22 degrees. I'm at 13 degrees. His rising sign is in Leo. My moon is in Leo. So I really kind of understand him, but he's just like exacerbated energy of the ego, which really plays a huge part in history. JFK was a Gemini. as well as Marilyn Monroe. We've had a lot of Gemini influences. George H. Bush, George Sr., he's a Gemini as well. A lot of these charts are coming together and kind of really blending with history the more I look at it. It's almost like this conspiracy theory that has been going on since the early 60s. And I don't have enough time to talk about all of that here, but it's really interesting when I do my research, and also how the Masonic plays a huge part in all of this. So there's a purpose for Donald Trump to be here, and I think the part of that purpose is to bring this upheaval in the government and shed some light on all of the corruption and demoralization that has been going on in our country. And yes, we're having to live through this chaos, but I do see a brighter side coming out in the future because of all of this. This is making us understand what it is that we don't want and how we don't want to live. So you just have to hold the light and hold that space for peace, and know that the more of us that join together in peace and a collective consciousness for the greater good, that will eventually be realized, hopefully within my lifetime. Also, too, another warning of caution with that explosion, implosion of the Great American Eclipse conjunct Donald Trump's ascendant in Leo, that huge ego. This could also lead us into war. Now, you know that I did predict that in May. He's been tweeting about how unhappy he is with China. I think that he really needs to be careful at this point, of pissing off our allies, because he's doing it all over the world. Countries that are great allies to the United States, he's saying horrible things about. And yes, you know what? A lot of them are true. However, you have to word things correctly and carefully. And he doesn't often do that very well. I think with his South Node being in Sagittarius, he is always trying to play the law and show how great he is. It's in Sag, it's a fire sign, it's directly across from his North Node, which is in Gemini, and he should probably play that more mutable and amiable person, but he doesn't. He pulls in that ego from that fiery Leo and allows it to erupt in his South Node. And the South Node is very, very much about what occurred in your past life, but he's still playing that card. I've seen it in his history over and over again, how he likes to win, and that's all past life stuff with that 29-degree Leo. So that's all I have to say about that. I'm going to blog about all of these astrological signs and aspects in August. And I will be making 2 separate videos for that July and August prediction. And they'll be short. They'll be only 5 minutes or so. So thank you. Have a great week. And think about all of the things that you want to get rid of right now. Gearing up for that lunar eclipse in the full moon next Monday, Sunday, Monday. Have a great week. I love you, and thank you for watching. Peace and blessings. Bye. Now let's see if I can figure out how to turn this off.